because I had been talking with, I was with the group of helpers for Marianne Williamson and her presidential campaign. We had a call last night, 1 hour or so, and she basically was saying thank you to everyone and showing her compassion and association relation with all the people. It was very kind of emotional because she's standing down, but she realizes, and very much so, that the issue that we're really dealing with is ongoing and improving, let's say, at some levels. And so this isn't the end of something and the defeat, rather more so like, okay, what's the next step? I mean, she's seeing that, but she's also seeing what we call the doppelganger. She called it a doppelganger, which has something to do with all the restrictions and the double talk, hidden agendas and controller modifications and manipulations. I'm not sure if she would say it that way, but she is talking about something that has to do with the ability to communicate with people and have them recognize and allow ideas to be recognized, even if they're not worthwhile, or maybe they are worthwhile, but they're not even allowing themselves to approach it. So this is something I did with the Kennedy campaign, where I have presented an idea and I haven't gotten a back response on it, but they are working also somewhat similarly to break the logjam that's being created by a two-party system and the controllers and a kind of bipolar. I think Biden's name is funny, Biden, Joe Biden, bipolar den, or the bipolar Eden. You know, they think that they're in some kind of a positive place there, where all it really is competition and corruption, mostly. I'm not saying it's all that way. It's about half and half, I guess. But it doesn't matter. It's all like a bipolar consciousness, or sometimes it comes out as a one-dimensional consciousness, which DUANE very clearly points out. Yes, it's all really one-pointed, literal-minded, etc. Okay, so I made some fun with these ideas and see what the inroads come to, and places where we can talk. What I came up with Marion, unfortunately, or otherwise, is that I couldn't really address what I was pointing out because I was pointing out something new, and they are still working with the old model. So when you come in new, it almost looks like you're being negative, and you're denying what their operation is. And it's true in one way, but it's not a direct confrontation. So, but in order to be heard, this is what the doppelganger is. Double play, picked off the base because you're not playing the baseball game right. Yeah, that's pretty much of a metaphor for that. Okay, so I'll just jump past the next thing that came to me, which had to do with the storm weather control situation. We've got another supposedly hurricane coming this way, and I hear people here say they say it's coming right at us again. The last one that came, I after passed through, and we didn't have any real damage to the house or anywhere. I had one tree down, no problem. And I went to New York instead. But this time, what I'm presenting is, talking about is this the media control, because they use all this all the time. and it's all weather related, increase in storms. So they said this hurricane is going to be Hurricane 1, blah, blah, blah. And I looked at it with my solar positioning, and I wasn't seeing anything per se of any challenge, really. Just one thing, which isn't any. And it turns out that now the storm has been downgraded to about 50 mile per hour instead of 80 or 90. And they're still saying, well, it's going to rain a whole lot. And, they're all worried about it because that's what the media does, is continue this operation of concern, fear, and dependency on their reporting model, media. And so it's very obvious, but to talk about it, you get silenced, and so forth and so on. And at the same time, I said, well, I said I didn't think I saw anything about it like this, heavy. And, so, we'll get some heavy rains, and there'll be a lot of people complaining about it. And we live in a place that's high and dry, more or less, anyway. And so all of these heavy rains that we've had, lots and lots and lots, a huge amount of, has not really been a problem, except for the power goes out. And that's been happening quite regularly, despite all the improvements they supposedly put in. It's funny business all the way around. So it's just being aware when you see that, instead of just falling right under the yoke of their model and getting choked, and blocked, or bipedaled. And okay, I could give you the whole 3-part line to everything. That's something that's been coming up very clearly in almost everything, and it's a good way of learning to communicate. So I'll share it that way, and I'll share it in the way that I was sharing with Val about the missions and the hostels, or the hotels, and the hostiles along the beach road. And then I said, we have the 5 peso star hotels. We've got your 5 peso hotels, Val. And you're going to set them all up along the coast there. And everybody's welcome to come stay. So I said, for being on the road, not in the Roaches Hotel, this is our slogan, La Mission de Peso Hostels, on the high road of life or the highway of light. It's the new wave, WAYVE, for the new you, new mans. Okay, I'm getting beyond myself, but that's a good thing. I forgot. It's funny business. I am not worthy. Okay, that's enough. No more Beetlejuice. I've had too much. I've got to put down the dirty water and the bad poison drinks and the GMO, chemtrail polluted food, and fire producing weather control harps, and songs of rap, crap, dap, and even Dapren and Harold Esness, or whatever. That's enough. But that's a good way. You could put that together in a video with Kevin, maybe. It's something funny. That's the way. That's the wave. The new wave. Thank you. Yeah, I can't log on to Facebook. I got kind of a doppelganger on that one. That's a really good word for when we come up with something that we should be able to do, but it's being blocked, or there's a restriction, or something got conflicted due to duality of our attention, and we can cause it as well as anybody else. because we didn't play the game exactly the way that they outlined it. And so things get confused. And this is easily done. I'll mention one thing where I've seen it happen is Jeff Bridges and a bunch of the Hollywood people are all on board with trying to do something to raise funds for the female presidential candidate and get a group together that's meeting like the online, like our Skype group or whatever. And they had a group and it got stopped or cut off. And there was something about it didn't meet our standards and all that. And that's like, you know, this is exactly the thing, the doppelganger that they're operating, and it's intense, and it's going to get really intense the closer we get to November. So this is the Civil War that America is dealing with. We don't have to deal with it if we don't want to. It doesn't matter. But it's presenting the issues and showing that whole the doppelganger at work. And you know, there's names for those people, maybe, but maybe it's just mostly humanity in general is built on this policy, and they all think it's an insurance policy of safety, and it's not at all. Thank you, Val. That's quite a speech, huh?